guys, so don't mind that. I decided to do some special effects on myself. I love practicing special effects on me. I'm not like a professional or anything. I always had dreamed to be like a special effects makeup artist, but I didn't want to go to school for that because there's no guarantee in that job field. But whenever I can, I like to practice on myself. So I'm actually practicing for my Halloween tutorials that I'm going to be doing on my fashion channel, so check that out. But like I said before, I'll have featurettes of my tutorials on here because I like to pretend I'm an actress as well and get into the characters that I do. In case you're interested, I'll have 2 of my Halloween tutorials from last year down below in case you want to see what I'm talking about. So again, we are interrupting the Asian horror segment and there's only 1 week left of it. And I wanted to do 10 reviews for Asian horror in the month of August, and that's just not going to happen. I think I've done 5 so far and I believe I can do 3 more. That's my goal, is to do 3 more Asian horror reviews. I think I have them picked out which ones. I kind of had to narrow it down, so I just took off 2 that weren't really that popular and kind of stuck to the ones that I was really looking forward to and that I think you guys would enjoy more. Sorry I couldn't do all 10, but I'm doing 2 extra reviews this month that aren't Asian horror, like I did The Conjuring, and today we're going to be talking about You're Next. So I went and saw this 2 nights ago on Friday when it came out, and I went in with no expectations. Yeah, I was a little bit excited about it, but I didn't want to be disappointed by it like The Conjuring, because I got so excited for The Conjuring because there was so much hype up about it that I didn't want that to happen this time. But a lot of people were saying how You're Next was scary, funny, entertaining, good. So yeah, I had a little bit of excitement from the hype in me. But so I'm gonna tell you a little secret about me. I don't generally get afraid of home invasion movies. I like them as stories, but I don't get scared by them. They're not scary to me. You would think that like home invasion or something like The Strangers would get to me more than The Ring, because the storyline in The Strangers can actually happen, whereas The Ring can't. But I prefer those unrealistic things for some reason. Those scare me more. Haunted house stories scare me more. I don't know what it is about home invasion that just doesn't scare me. I don't know. I think it's kind of funny and over the top when they have masks on, like animal masks. And that's one thing about You're Next, is they did have the animal masks, and I thought it was kind of similar to The Strangers, so I didn't really like that, but I think that's cheesy. I don't know why. I know some people are really scared by it. My boyfriend is kind of freaked out by the whole animal mask thing, holding machete. I don't think that's scary. So I'm gonna say generally, as a whole, You're Next, I loved it. As a scary movie, it wasn't scary, to me anyway. Yeah, it did make me jump, and I'm trying to remember, there was a scene, yeah, there was a few scenes that got to me, like kind of made me uncomfortable, but that's because they were gore, and the only type of gore that, well, I mean, most gore does bother me. It should anyway. I'm not too immune to it, I would say, but one thing that really, really bothers me is when someone's head is bashed in, face bashed in, and it shows it all. And that happens twice in this movie, so those parts did kind of make me a little queasy. But my favorite thing about You're Next was the comedy. Oh my gosh, it was the funniest movie I've seen in a while. I hate comedy movies. I hate them. They're not my style of movie at all. I just think they try way too hard to be funny when it's not funny. And this one was amazing in that. I thought it was perfect. The comedy was perfect. It wasn't too much, although sometimes it was a little corny. Sometimes the comedy was a little corny, but other than that, the whole beginning part, like the first 20-30 minutes full of comedy, was hilarious. My boyfriend and I were dying. Luckily we laughed at the same things. We have the same sense of humor, so it really worked on us. It's a very like dry, I don't know, I can't explain the type of humor, but it was amazing. I loved it. Let me know if you guys have seen it, if you liked the comedy aspect of it. I don't know. It was awesome. Something I didn't like too much about this movie was the acting. I thought sometimes it was really over the top, and correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe they tried that on purpose. I'm not sure. I thought maybe they were gonna go in that direction on purpose because it was kind of like maybe making fun of home invasion movies. But I don't think that was intentional, but that's kind of the vibe I got, that they were kind of poking fun at the masks, the acting, over the top thing. I don't know. I just thought maybe it was on purpose, but maybe it wasn't, and if it wasn't, then that's a bad thing in my eyes to make it that cheesy sometimes. I mean, my boyfriend didn't agree with me that it was, that the acting was cheesy, but I did think it was cheesy. So I didn't even tell you guys about the plot, although you could always watch the trailer and find out too. But basically, there is a boy. There's a man who is introducing his girlfriend to his family, and his family's loaded. His parents are rich, and you get that right off the bat because you are kind of in his parents' house, and they're like, you know, cleaning and stuff like that, getting ready for people to come over. So the whole family is coming. He has 2 brothers and 1 sister, and they all have significant others too. My favorite character probably has to be his younger brother Felix's girlfriend Z. She was hilarious. Z with 2 E's. She was so funny. I don't know why. She was just so... I can't explain. I don't think her character was meant to be like really funny, but I was laughing at her parts because she was so serious and like gothic and stoic, and it was funny in the moment. So I liked her character. Basically, then people... one of the significant others gets like shot in the face with an arrow when he like stands up and like looks outside, and he gets shot in the head with an arrow, and that's where it kind of like takes off, and people start dying. When you go by the windows, people, you know, are shooting crossbow arrows and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool, but again, not scary to me. I don't know. So I would definitely recommend this movie while it's still in theaters. It just came out, so you should be able to see it in your theaters for the next month or so. I'm not sure how long movies stay in theaters now. But there's a twist I want to talk about, so I'm going to talk about that now. And so if you don't want to know the twist, I recommend not knowing the twist, so it wouldn't hurt my feelings if you guys turned off the movie, because it wasn't like a wow moment, but it was kind of like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool little twist there. But it wasn't anything like super surprising. Definitely check out the trailer, but I'm gonna move on to the spoiler. Okay, so the spoiler is that the younger brother Felix and the main character Crispy? I don't know what his name is. They are kind of teamed up to kill their whole family, and they hire these hitmen or whatever to help kill them. And because they didn't want to kill their actual family themselves, they wanted other people to, so they hired these people to make it look like it was a home invasion, and the only people left alive would be Crispin and his girlfriend, and Felix and his girlfriend, Z. So those 4 people, and then the 2 brothers would get the inheritance and get millions of dollars, and they were going to split it and go about their lives rich. It didn't really go as planned, and one of the cheesy parts that I didn't like is when Felix goes to kill his older brother because the other guys got slowed down and they just couldn't kill him or something. He just won't die. So that's the thing though, is when Felix is like, he keeps stabbing him with a bunch of screwdrivers and like shoving him in his chest, and he won't die, and so he's like, why won't you die? And I know it's supposed to be like a funny moment, but I think they tried a little hard to make that part funny. It wasn't funny. I will say that the Crispin's girlfriend, she is from Australia, and she grew up on like the survival camp, and so she like knows all these like protective moves and like knows what to do in the situation, and starts killing the people. And you know, they didn't know that she was gonna be like this badass chick who could just like protect herself and everybody. So that was pretty funny. And then the ending was so hilarious when she finally, another spoiler, by the way. She kills her boyfriend Crispin because she overhears him talking to Felix about, or she's like, answers Felix's phone and Crispin starts talking about the plan and stuff. So she knows about it and knows that he's in on it. So then they're standing there and he's trying to talk her down and like have her not be mad at him and like talks about like an engagement, which I think is totally abusing his power as a boyfriend. She does kill him, and then I thought it was so funny as she's standing there, everybody else is dead now. She's the only survivor. And then all of a sudden she is shot in the shoulder by a cop and they like claim her to be the suspect that did all that, and she kind of gets blamed for it. But it was hilarious because the cop like leans in the window and he's looking around and he's like, what the fuck? That's totally someone's reaction. Normally the cops will just walk in and be like, what's going on? What's going on? But this one's like, what the fuck? Like that's how you would actually react when you see all the mess and the blood and the bodies and everything. So overall, I really liked this movie. I thought it was really clever. The plot was not very special though, in my opinion. The scares weren't anything to be scared of. They were just kind of jumpy, which I don't consider part of a scare factor, because like just getting my heart rate up because I'm scared, like, you know, scared, startled kind of thing isn't really scary to me. It's when it's disturbing. So, but the gore was good. The effects were great. Everything looked pretty real. Oh, that's one thing though. The blood did not look real. And that kind of got to me. It kind of took me out of the moment. Like when, you know, people were dying and stuff, it would have been more disturbing had the blood looked more real, but that's whatever. It's, you know, maybe that's another thing that they wanted to be a little cheesy, a little on purpose maybe. So that's all I have to say about this movie. Definitely see it while you can in theaters. It's definitely better and funnier in theaters, I think, than having to watch it at home. So see it if you can. I really recommend it. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.